Good morning. This is David Angione with the Everything Real Estate Show, and I'm very glad to be here with you today. And just wanted to give you a little bit of information that we have for our activity during September. I'm sorry, for December. Kind of falling backwards there a little bit. But so in Stark County, we had 319 solds. For an average day of days on the market was 44 days. The average price for the homes that were sold over that time frame was 126.5. Now that's a median price there, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Days on the market for Tusk County was pretty much the same. Our median price was right around the 140 mark, and our days to sell on the market was a median, I would say, of about a little longer there. So I'm going to say we're looking at about 60 days, and that's covering the whole year on that. So a little bit longer there, a little bit higher in the price median, and again, that was covering for a little bit longer of a time. So again, it was 76 homes that were sold in Tuscarawas County for about 60 days, and the median price was right around 140. And so we all median, is taking the high and the low and kind of coming up with a average figure there, basically. So, and our market in both of those areas, which is both areas where I do serve. I serve in the Stark, Tusk, and Summit County area as well, but. So our market is very hot right now, and so that's a good thing. And you may think, and you may have heard me say this before, but you may think that January is not a good time to list your home, and it's proving to be different. December was a very, very good month for me. I had 10 homes under contract during that month. And so it was a good time, even though the weather was cold and bad, and we had all the holidays and everything. There was still a lot of activity, and January is starting out to be that same way. I'm getting a lot of calls and getting people wanting to list their homes and show their homes and sell their homes and buy homes. I have lots of buyers out there with not enough homes. So if you're considering moving and selling your home, this may be a really good time. And part of that reason is there's a couple of different reasons for that. And one is that if they're out there buying, or if they're looking, they're going to be pretty serious, because this time of the year, especially with, the weather gets a little colder and stuff like that, people aren't as apt to be out and about. So if you have a buyer that comes to look at your house during this time, they're serious buyers. And the other side is that you have less competition. Come spring, the market may have picked up. There may be more homes on, and so people are going to be looking at more homes, and you're going to be, again, you're going to have that more competition out there. So it could result in, people moving on to the next home or whatever. This way they have fewer homes to look at right now. So it's a great time for you to consider selling your home. I would love to talk to you about that. And then again, I want to mention that this is sponsored by Stephanie Sanzone with E-Mortgage and with Ryan from First In Home Inspections. And Ryan and Stephanie and myself are going to be sponsoring a seller's seminar, and I believe that's in February. and I will have to get you that day. But I believe it's February the 8th at 6 o'clock in the evening at the North Canton Public Library. But I will get more of that information for you next week. Now we're going to move along, and we're going to talk a little bit about pre-listing inspections. And that may seem, again, kind of like something that you might not want to consider, but it's a good thing. We've talked a little bit about it. But with having that pre-list inspection, and there's no guarantee that with having, if you do that pre-listing inspection, that doesn't mean that this potential buyer, won't come and do a home inspection as well. But at least with doing that pre-listing inspection, you will be prepared for that and kind of take some of the sting out of their inspection, and so that's again that's a good thing. So a couple of different things that you can do to get your home ready for a home inspection is to clean your house. Seems pretty simple thing, but it is. It's just to clean your house. So home inspectors are people first and inspectors second. As people, they carry preconceived ideas of how well a house has been maintained. So clean homes say you care and take care of the house. So it's a good idea. It makes a good impression. So don't make the mistake of thinking they can see past stuff. They can't. So again, it's a simple thing to do. Just clean your house, wipe down the counters, the floors, you don't have to do spring cleaning or anything like that, but just a simple cleaning. Your sink should be clean, your counter should be clutter-free, and tubs and floors cleaned and swept, and the type of thing. Just a common thing. Think about when you go into a home, what do you want to see? So that's the number one thing, is just present a clean house to the home inspector, and that gives them a better attitude about you and about your home. And it's all about first impression, and you only get one chance to do that. So the other thing is that you may find and often I've in most cases, when I have a home inspection scheduled, I'm there for that home inspection, and I find that the home inspection may be scheduled for 11. They're going to be there maybe even as early as a half an hour early. So you want to be on time and have the house ready for inspection like a half an hour early, so that when they walk in, they can just start. They're probably going to start outside and everything, but again, they're going to be there, so they're going to start outside. You can leave the shades down, the drapes drawn until you're dressed. Of course, but more than one unprepared seller has been surprised by a stranger stopping around in the backyard. So you want to be prepared. Expect them to be a half an hour early, again, because they're going to start outside. They're going to need to turn the stove on, run the dishwasher, test the furnace, air conditioning. So you want to make sure that your utilities are left on, and especially if your house is vacant, and it's possible to check the receptacles for grounding and reverse polarity. If the power is turned off, it can't be, and then the inspector is going to have to come back, which could delay the closing of your transaction, and we certainly don't want to do that. So this is both for pre-inspection and or pre-list inspection and inspection during the buying process. But again, just common courtesy and sense there. You want to provide a adequate workspace around your furnace and water heaters, so that the home inspector can take a look at them. You want to remove the boxes, bookcases, furniture, and anything else blocking access to your furnace, your air conditioner, water heater. They need about 3 to 4 feet of working space to inspect these items. They often will not move anything themselves, but if they don't have access, an inspector might suggest a specialist to the buyer. So again, that's what you want to be prepared for. And again, this is helping you prepare for the buyer, but also good information to know for a pre-inspection. And you want to keep all your pilot lights ignited. I recently had one where the seller was either had moved out of the area or was on vacation and turned the pilot light off, unbeknownst to any of us. And the home inspector did go in and turn it on and then turned it back off, which is what he should do because that's how he found it. So then we had the appraiser come in, and the appraiser will not turn those on, so he had to go back. So it's a good idea to leave them turned on if you're going to be away or you're vacationing or your house is completely vacant. You can put them on vacation mode, you can put them on low, but you definitely want to leave them on. Again, this applies for both pre-inspection and buyers, an inspection during the buying process. So you want to provide access to the attic and the garage ceilings and those types of things, because the inspector is going to want to go up there and look at it. And so you want to make sure that you have provided adequate access to the attic and the garage. Again, remove all the things that may be blocking the attic. If you have attic access in your house through a closet and you have clothes in there, you may want to consider removing those clothes, because what's going to happen when they open the attic, some of that insulation may fall down, and that you don't want that to be on your clothes. So those are things that you want to remember to do. It makes it so much smoother. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here, and we'll be back after we hear a word from our sponsor. So thank you for listening and turning in, and I look forward to talking with you after the break. This is David Ian Gion with the Everything Real Estate Show.